Hello everyone, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video. And this is going to be another challenge. This is going to be the Thrill Me Thursdays challenge, done by, hey, isn't that Devon Graham? And this one is going to be your top 5 Halloween night staples. Now basically with this idea of this top 5 list is that these are top 5 horror films that are absolutely a must-watch on Halloween night. So I figured I'd do the top 5 for you guys. He did a really great job with his list. So I hope you guys enjoy my list. So these are the top 5 horror movies that are a must-watch on Halloween. So I hope you guys enjoy this list, and let's get on to the list. So number 5 had to be this one, Candyman. Candyman is one of those horror films that I still to this day find very, very creepy. I love the whole urban legend of the Candyman. I think Tony Todd does a great job as the Candyman. I really like Virginia Madsen, Alexander Berkeley. Very solid direction by Bernard Rose, of course, based off the Clive Barker novel of the same name. And this is just a really creepy movie. You know, saying his name in the mirror, and he comes and he appears, and he has the bees coming out of him, and things like that. The public restroom scene is really creepy. That always gets to me still to this day. And Candyman is just one of those horror films that is just a must-watch on Halloween. I absolutely love this movie. Love Candyman. Number 4 had to be this one, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Easily had to be my number 4. Of course, signed by Gunnar Hansen himself. May he rest in peace. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of those easily one of the best horror films of the 70s. One of the best horror films of all time. I absolutely love this movie a lot. Really creepy, and it doesn't rely heavily on gore. It's more of a psychological thriller, kind of like horror film. And it works. You know, the dinner table scene with the cook and the hitchhiker and Leatherface and Grandpa. You have great characters like Sally and Franklin and all that stuff. Of course, Leatherface, played by the late Gunnar Hansen. And really creepy aspects, like especially when Franklin gets killed. It's a pretty good jump scare when Leatherface pops down and just slices him with the chainsaw. The dinner table scene, and of course the whole ending where with the semi-truck and things like that. I mean, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is fantastic. It's a fantastic horror film. That's a must-watch. Number 3, I do have the film on Blu-ray, but I figured I'd hold the poster up for it, but The Blair Witch Project easily has to be my number 3. I absolutely adore this movie. I think The Blair Witch Project is still my favorite found footage horror film. It's one of my favorite horror films of all time. I talked about this a lot when I did the live stream. These are actually the top 5 horror films I mentioned in the live stream that I did on the Movie Busters with me, Rob, Alex, and Dan. Go check those guys out, by the way, if you haven't got a chance to. But we did a live stream, and me, Rob, and Alex all picked the Blair Witch Project on our list because we love this movie a lot. The great characters of Heather, Mike, and Josh. I like the fact that you don't see the actual witch. It's actually far more creepier that way. Excuse me, my voice was breaking up. But, yeah, but a really creepy aspect. I love the whole idea of the woods. A really creepy setting for a horror film. And on top of that, too, it's creepy, you know. What if you're out there and you're lost and you're running short on food and water and you have no idea where you're at and things like that. And there's some creepy aspects, like when they're in the tent, they hear, like, children laughing outside, or when they get to that, like, stone shack at the very end, you see Michael just, like, standing in the corner and the camera falls. I mean, I love the Blair Witch Project a lot. It's an absolute must-watch for me on Halloween. Number 2 had to be this one, The Shining. The original Stanley Kubrick classic from 1980. Of course, there's Jack on the back there. But The Shining is an absolutely fantastic horror film. It's my favorite Stephen King movie, my favorite Stephen King adaptation movie. I love Jack Nicholson as Jack Torrance. He does a great job. The whole Here's Johnny thing, and I love the whole setting of the Overlook Hotel. really great job by Jack Nicholson. Very solid direction by Stanley Kubrick, and really great stuff, like really creepy shots in the movie that just creep me out. Like especially when Danny Lloyd, little boy Danny's riding on a little tricycle-looking bike, and he goes down the hallway, and the camera's right behind him, and he sees the twin girls in the hallway, and there's like a split second of them all chopped up to pieces, and the little boy's face is really terrifying. The lady in the shower, of course, the blood coming out of the elevator, and on top of that, too, a really creepy musical score. This movie is just so well done. I absolutely love The Shining. And, of course, my number one must-watch horror film on Halloween had to be this one. It's my favorite horror film of all time, The Exorcist. I mean, what more can be said about The Exorcist that hasn't been said before? Really, probably the scariest film I've ever seen ever. It still creeps me out to this day. William Friedkin does a great job directing this. Jason Miller as Father Karras, Linda Blair as Reagan, you have Ellen Burstyn, Max von Sydow, Lee J. Cobb. I mean, what more can you say about The Exorcist? I mean, what more can you say other than that? So, that is pretty much it for this Thrill Me Thursdays challenge. So, thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time. You guys take care, and happy Halloween, everybody.